Hey everybody! On this episode of Gaming Collecting, me and Alex are going to be recapping our recent trip to Rhode Island Anime Con. Our first time visiting the event, we're going to basically be giving our thoughts and experience over the weekend. But anyways guys, on with the episode. So how you been?
Ben how? So yes.
Oh good, she's broken. It's been a week. It's only Wednesday and it feels like it's been an eternity.
It has felt like a week. It has been I haven't been sleeping well the past couple of this past week because Miss Dingles, aka Dennis, that's her alter ego. When she
You never
becomes
did
evil.
give me the explanation for this.
Oh, when she becomes evil, her name is now Dennis. And one of the things she decided to do starting this past weekend is that when I go to bed and I put my feet under my covers, they are her mortal enemy and she must attack them until she's satisfied, which can take multiple hours of her attacking my feet and keeping me up. So I haven't been sleeping well all week and I'm pretty loopy and I'm probably gonna go to bed really fucking early tonight. But yeah, haven't I sent you some videos of her?
Yes.
She's been doing that every fucking night since she started, and I love her.
I would just kick her off, to be honest. But
I just love her too much. So her name that's her alter ego. It's Dennis the Menace because that's what she is. And that's what I've just determined.
I was trying to figure out where the hell Dennis came from.
Because she's a menace to society, to me. So that's her new name. She keeps keeping me up, and I'm really fucking tired. But other than that, Bill, how have you been?
I think I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. So
all right, well, same. Look at us go.
Look at us go. Mine is my own fault though, because I recorded a podcast really late last night.
So. Oh, with who?
It was 3DO, but our guest had a weird time. So
so you worked with their time.
Yes. And I didn't get to sleep until like midnight, and it was bad. But yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot.
Oh, you want to hear something funny I did today at work?
Okay.
So, my boss has been helping at another site this week. So me and one of the supervisors determined that this was the perfect time to prank his office. So I bought on Amazon 300 tiny yellow acrylic ducks. And we put them all over the office. And the best part was, as we're doing it, people are walking by and like going, ooh, this looks fun. And started joining in. So we put them everywhere, like on like the top of his desk, on his chair, like in things. We had them pose into weird things, like one of them is like doing a seance. We had them doing a seance, and then I put one like right around his mouse because he's gonna have to move everything. And then the best part is, so we have these visual boards out on the floor in our manufacturing floor. So we made one. And they're basically called safety quality delivery. I tried implementing them at my former workplace, and I doubt they're still there.
Both
but they're pretty
former workplaces.
Yeah, they're pretty standard, and but I changed the headers to quack 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 quack, and then the last one is was the people, so I made it quack 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 ducks, and they're called high performance teams. So I called them which we call HPTs. So this one I put HPF, high performance flock of ducks.
I'm glad to know.
And we put a bunch of ducks around it.
I'm glad to know that you're very busy in your current job.
We have fun. Well, part of it was I felt bad because I had missed a meeting from the supervisor. So I said to make it up to him, I'd help him pull an awesome prank, which I did. And then the piece de resistance is because I can't help myself. So I was buying I need to get a Father's Day card, which I got a really good one. It has minions on it, which I only got because there's minions. So I bought that. But then I was perusing and I saw, you can get a giant rubber duck. So I got like a 10-inch tall rubber duck and I'm going to put it on his chair. And that'll be the finishing touch. But I'm the queen of pranks.
This is okay.
And the best part is he's gone this whole week, so he's gonna come back on Monday and just be like, "What the hell is this?"
Quack quack, motherfucker.
Quack quack quack. I'll take a picture tomorrow. I gotta take a picture for good memory.
It's a good thing you have a good relationship with your boss.
Yes, I do. And he also plays pranks on people, so like it will be funny. And he's been like, I've been itching to do a prank. And I'm like,
just remember, Alex, revenge is a dish best served.
I know. He'll definitely get revenge on me, but it's gonna be so fucking worth it.
You're gonna find ducks in weird places.
Well, the best part is those acrylic ducks, to buy 100, it was like $5 on Amazon. So I could, in theory, just buy more and continue putting them in his office so it never ends.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's my fun story. Have you been playing any games or watching anything recently?
So games, not really. I finished Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules. Took me 2 days to beat. Mostly because I was falling asleep most of the time I tried playing it, because that's just how I play video games now, is I get sleepy and fall asleep. Not as good as I remembered it, I'm gonna say. The controls a lot worse than I remembered. Now I kind of want to play the SpongeBob games, but I don't want to play Battle for Bikini Bottom again because I've played that so many freaking times. I kind of want to play the movie game because I've not played the movie game in a long time, and I remember the movie game being arguably better in certain aspects. So I might play the movie game shortly, but that's when I have time. I've been watching stuff though. I finally got out of my Attack on Titan
cesspool.
The sadness is over now. I'm just kind of like
sadness pool.
So I watched. My goal is I'm gonna watch a couple 12ers, and then I'm gonna either watch JoJo's or My Hero Academia next.
JoJo's. Watch JoJo's.
It depends on what I feel like at the time. I plan on watching both this year, but I'm not sure which one I'm gonna watch first. But
both are. I will say, well, honestly, both of them I kind of think are similar in like. So season 1 and season 2 of part 1 and part 2 of JoJo's is gonna feel slow, but it is good. Has really great moments in it, and then you're gonna get to part 3, and everything you learned about in part 2, just forget about it. We don't use that anymore. But it's good. And then My Hero, I would say, it has like peaks and valleys. Like there's some points where it's like the last 2 seasons are amazing. Like they are so good. And like it's kind of like those like up and down. Like the peak fights are good, but the last 2 seasons are so worth it. Like you gotta watch.
I've heard, but I want to watch that one too because I know the next season's soon. So.
Yeah, and it's the final.
Yeah, I figure I might as well get into it now.
And then you can watch it with everyone.
Yeah, yeah, but I in the meantime, I've so far watched 2 12ers this week.
Mm-hmm.
I watched My Dress Up Darling, which our friend Slade has watched, and
how many episodes is that?
12. It's interesting because cosplay is a big theme to it. It's kind of horny, but what show isn't these days?
Yeah.
Nothing like super explicit, but like I was like, yep, this is a rom-com, and the main character is not the female main character, but the male lead is kind of infuriating because he's so awkward. But
Is his name Gojo?
I believe so.
Because I've seen people like make jokes. Because like
There's some great gift potential from that show. That's all I'll say. I watched that. It was fine. It's very much on par with like those like all those like rom coms that came out recently, like Komi and Nagatoro and Kaguya-sama. Well,
Mhm.
Kaguya-sama's a bit more deep, but it was a good watch. 12 episodes, and a season 2 comes out fairly soon, so it was good timing, I guess, on my part. And then I watched Kiss Him, Not Me, because I've had the manga. I started the manga. I got distracted, but then I saw the anime was on Crunchyroll, and I said, "Fuck it, why not?"
I didn't realize that you didn't watch the anime
No,
before
I've
you
never
got the
seen the
manga.
anime. Never seen. No, I was intrigued by the art style, which I later found out was a yaoi artist, which is kind of funny.
Yes.
But oh, that was an interesting watch. That's a show that only could happen in Japan.
Yeah.
Only because the anatomy in that show doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah. Weird show though. Anyways, yeah, it's a weird show.
I've watched it before. I liked it, but it's an interesting story. I can't remember if they wrapped it up because there's no season 2.
There's no season 2, but I know it definitely doesn't finish. I texted you. I was like, it ended in an odd. Basically it ends with them all confessing to her, and then she says, "Fuck you guys, I gotta watch an anime,"
which I think actually is pretty accurate. I know she does end up with someone.
Oh, it's really obvious which one she ends up with.
Who?
It's very obviously the one that's like the very nice one that's like that isn't pushy. It's like very obvious. He's like also the
childhood friend.
The one that's like the history guy. He never like does anything gross, and he's just kind of always like when they're all being obnoxious, he's the one that's like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you liked that one.
It was an experience. I didn't realize how new it was. Also, there's a point in the middle where they're all wearing Attack on Titan clothes. I was like, God damn it, I can't fucking escape it.
Bill, Attack on Titan's big thing, Bill.
I know, but I was just like, I forgot how like new it was, so I was expecting to see it, and I was like, oh, this is here.
Yes. Well, I finished Daima, which I really enjoyed.
Good.
I really liked Daima. I thought it was really fun. I was sad. I wanted it to be a little bit longer. It's like funny, like I think this is like the first time like a Dragon Ball series has been less than 100 episodes. So it's kind of like funny.
GT was like only like 60 something.
Well, yeah, but I mean like less than a lot. Like they don't usually do like a 20 episodes, not the normal for Dragon Ball, but
yeah.
It was very fun though, and I don't think they tried to stretch anything out, so I really enjoyed it. I'll probably rewatch it again at some point because I just thought it was really fun. My favorite character was definitely what's his name? It looks like a Teletubby.
Oh, Hibis.
Hibis was my favorite character. I love that you just kept hitting on Bulma, and Vegeta was just like, "Fuck you."
No, my favorite was like the girl's like, "I'll give you a kiss." He's like, "Nah, can I just have your hat?"
Your hat? He's such a mood. I loved it.
And then my favorite part at the end is like when Go is like, all right, I need to set up my cabinet. Anyone want to be a secretary? Ivis like, I'd like to be one. And he's like, well, we're all good. And Ivis just doesn't get to be one.
I also love that he became like the new Demon King, which was really funny. Yeah. Oh, I like the end. I thought it was very fun.
I loved Glorio because like Goku never can get his name right.
Yes.
And then Pansy was a mood too. Like I loved her.
I liked all the new characters. I didn't think there was a single one. It was interesting to learn more about like the Kai, but then also it makes sense that this is an alternate universe plot. Which makes sense. Or alternate time, right?
So me and Matt's theory on that is in Super, the time rings, when they show the time rings, they show all the other ones. The theory is that GT is one of those time rings, alternate time rings. Super is one of the alternate time rings, and then Dime is one as well. So
that makes sense.
that's a theory that me and Matt came up with, but it totally could be.
I
Also,
think that makes sense.
The Demon World is great now because like whenever something doesn't make sense in Dragon Ball,
Demon World.
you can just make the excuse, "Oh well, Demon World," and it's like okay. It's basically Toriyama made his own way around the whole Toriyama forgets meme. So
yes,
Demon World did it.
Demon World did. I wonder what the future of Dragon Ball is gonna be though.
Well, the Super manga is still going.
Yeah, but I wonder if like we'll never get an anime again, or if they'll continue Super.
Well, I hope so because the Super manga has a couple arcs. Like there's an arc right after Brawly movie in the manga that's really good that I kind of want them to animate at some point. So
we'll have to wait and see. What else did? Oh, I watched a movie. I think I've told you about it. Makia when the promised flower blooms. It had lots of Frieren vibes. Not like the full, kind of like the whole story basis around the character of Frieren. That's what I would say. And their struggles, but it had more of a familiar, like family twist, and that one was very good. It was just one I picked. I had actually seen it like advertised a couple times. I was like, oh, I'm gonna like check it out. And that one was very good. Then I watched Headhunted to Another World, from Salaryman to Big Four. And that one was dumb, but also kind of funny. I like the gimmick of like, so like he's just a guy, like he's just a salaryman. He doesn't get any magic powers. He's literally just like, yeah, I just do business. And the Demon Lord army is just like, hey, I just want you to use your businessman skills to help me out. And that's all he does. But part of the gimmick is like whenever he's like struggling on something or trying to think, he like goes to this bar, and like the other characters will show up and like hang out at the bar, and that's like where he gets his. It was pretty fun. I wouldn't rewatch it, but I was like, I enjoyed my stay. Then I watched Meku MD Doctor Detective, which that was the one where I was telling you I was like, I wasn't prepared for deep shit. What the hell? And that one was actually, if you like a good mystery with a like scientific, well, like a doctor medical twist, that one was really fun. There's a little bit of like romance. It's very barely there. It's like a little hint as well. I like that one a lot too. It actually has some pretty good mystery because the main character doctor helps a lot with the like police and forensics after like things happen. So some of the cases were interesting, and it actually does go into like the science of it as well. Not too deep, but pretty good. And then I started watching yesterday Dead Mount Death Play. And this one, the funniest part about this one is that there's a character who's this big blonde lady, and she's voiced by Mamau.
Oh, really?
By Mama's voice actor. And the whole time I'm just like, Mau, what are you doing at a bar? Why are you blonde with big titties? You're not Mau, because it's literally just her voice. So that's been funny. It's not anything amazing, but actually the story is kind of fun. It's a guy who like was from another world, and he like used reincarnate. He like hated everything in the other world, so he's like, I'm just gonna peace out and reincarnate in the future. And he reincarnates in a guy who like literally just died, like had his throat slit. So he just like wakes up and he's like, all right, my throat is slit. I gotta figure out what to do. And like his first interaction is everyone's like, what the fuck? Why is this guy alive? He just died. And it's a lot more goofy than I thought it was going to be. More silly, but that's what I've been watching. Well, and like continuing to watch from bureaucrat to villainous. Dad's been reincarnated, which is just fun and silly. Yeah.
Fun.
Bill, I saw you hold something. a couple seconds ago. What is that something, Bill?
A stress ball.
No. It wasn't that. It was bottle shaped. Cue the music. That's not the music. I can fucking hear it this time. Cue the actual music. Don't act hate this. You love this. This is your favorite part of the podcast. Tell us what you're drinking.
I'm drinking a fucking one of these because it's a fucking Franny's vanilla cream sparkling energy drink. This is.
I have a story to tell after this, but continue.
This is becoming a legitimate addiction now, like with these things. So,
give us a fact.
It's 10 calories per bottle.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't make any logical sense. But all right, what are you snickering about?
So, on Monday I went grocery shopping, and there was one bottle of the cream soda left, and it was pushed to the far back of the shelf. And because I am also addicted to this, I climbed on shelves to reach the back and get the bottle. It almost fell on my ass. And as soon as I use, those ice drink bottles that you have, there was a shelf of them below, so I used one of those. And then in the process of getting it, I knocked 6 bottles.
You're a menace.
Cream soda.
Just picturing you climbing a thing and just be like, "Oh shit!"
Someone saw me. This guy who was doing I think a DoorDash or a grocery delivery, walked down the aisle. I was like, "What the fuck?"
I would have just been like, "Don't fucking judge me."
I want cream soda. But it was literally just to get the cream soda. All of the other ones were there, but the cream soda was stuck in the back, and I was like, "I want fucking cream soda."
Alex went full on Neanderthal and was like, "Ah!"
So that happened. I'm also drinking, what's left of it, because I drank most of it, but mine's the blood orange one. It's really good, but I don't have the facts, but I do have something else. So the other day on my bike ride, they had, those little tiny libraries? They had one.
Okay.
You've never seen a tiny library?
Is it like one of those you drop the book off?
It's just a little amount of books, and people. In the whole thing is you give a book. So I took a book, and I took the Philadelphia brand cream cheese cookbook.
Lovely.
I took that book. Bill, this book was published in 1981.
What book did you leave?
So, this is a cookbook from the 80s, and I decided that I would read a recipe. I didn't have one, so next time I go, I'll bring a book. But I couldn't resist taking it. Bill, look at that fucking Jell-O mold. Look at that. This is what people ate in the 80s. So, I'm going to read an excerpt from this cookbook. That just sounds so appetizing. Here's the photo. Yummy. The recipe is festive chicken
Here's
salad.
a photo that none of the audio listeners can see.
well, you can see it. You can add it to I'll post in the server. It includes one 8-ounce can of crushed pineapple undrained, a container of Philadelphia brand cream cheese, chopped cooked chicken, water chestnuts, celery slices, onion slices, silvered almonds, salt, dash of pepper, and 4 tomatoes. Does that sound yummy? No. So drain the pineapple, reserving syrup. Combined reserved syrup and cream cheese, mixing until well blended. Add pineapple and combine the remaining ingredients. Mix lightly, chill. Cut each tomato into 6 sections, almost to stem end, and fill with chicken salad.
Okay.
Yummy. Does that look delicious, Bill?
Not really.
Exactly.
That looks like an enemy in like a video game that you have to kill.
The recipe below it is called Majestic Spinach Salad.
I'm good.
And it goes on. I kind of want to make one of these just to see how cursed it is because it's from the 80s.
How much do you want to bet the person who dropped that off took something really great and just left that because that's all they had? And they were like, yeah, cookbook from the 80s.
This is a beautiful that actually, see the dessert ones? The dessert ones actually look good because adding cream cheese to dessert is good. But the gross like jelly things with cream cheese like that are like ew, like the jello mold on the front. So this will be my new thing. I'm going to read excerpts from this terrible cookbook from the 80s. I hope you enjoyed. Was the music still playing?
No.
You turned book segment. I ran out of facts, so I'm gonna read from the. I'm just picking random. You turn that fucking clown music off right fucking now, Bill.
But anyways, we have a topic for this week.
We'll spend 30 minutes.
Yeah. 3DL last night, we spent an hour and a half talking about the news before we got to the actual game we were covering.
Well, that's why it took so long. I could read another excerpt from my cookbook.
We're good. So, for this episode, we're doing our first convention retrospective of the year.
Whoa! Is that really loud?
No, because your mic kind of crapped itself. So this year we did something a little different. We went to a new convention for the first time.
Yes.
We went to Rhode Island Anime Con.
This was my Christmas present for Billard.
No, that was birthday.
Oh. This was my birthday present for Billard.
Yeah. So we went to Rhode Island Comic Con over this weekend. But the time this comes out, it would have been like a month ago. So
yes.
This is a relatively new convention. It was only like the 3rd year I think they've been doing it.
Yeah, and it was definitely smaller than most of the conventions, but I'd say it was smaller than Retro World.
Much smaller than Retro World.
Yeah.
Retro World is a pretty quaint little like kind of like intimate convention like in terms of size, but like you still end up doing the shuffle at Retro World every now and then. This convention, like the first, like we'll get into it more when we go into a deep dive, but this was the first convention I don't think we had to do the shuffle.
No, yeah, it was usually pretty clear. You could definitely walk the whole time we were there.
Well, because it used the same convention center that Rhode Island Comic Con uses, and Rhode Island Comic Con is a shit show. Like that is like one of the most packed. Like last time I went, we didn't even cover it on the show because only I went, but it was so crowded and it was just not a super fun time. Like it was like one of those like you couldn't even find a place to like breathe because it was just so many people.
Yeah,
it was nuts. I mean, I had fun, but I was still kind of like Jesus. This was like the same space, but it was like half the size. Like at Rhode Island Comic Con, they had the autograph rooms on like an upper floor, and this one they stuck them in.
This one, everything was just in one floor. Yeah. Yeah, because the last time I had gone to this convention center was it was also Rhode Island Comic Con, but it was the year that we went together. So it was funny, but also I have a connection with that convention center because it used to be where all of my dance competitions as a kid all took place in that convention center. So it's like for me, it's nostalgic. But I will say that convention center has seen way better days. Like, they have beat the crap out of it and not taken care of it at all.
It was starting to look a little dumpy.
Yeah, it definitely was not looking as great as it once did. Which is funny because like the dance competitions have been in Connecticut, and they're going to be going back to Providence Plate, to Rhode Island. And I don't think a lot of people are expecting, because even the mall was kind of grubby from the last time. Like that
The
whole
hotel was
thing.
extremely grubby.
Oh my god, the toilets. Anyway, we'll talk about it after. But let's go through the story. So we went in the morning, and we're like, all right, we're gonna stop and we're gonna get breakfast beforehand. And then it turns out they changed the hours of our usual. I'm tired. Of our usual coffee place. So we said fuck it, and we just decided to drive. So no coffee in our system or food. We just said whatever.
Which, to be fair, though, probably was better for the drive, because whenever you have to drink, then you have to pee, and then we had to pee by the time we got there, so it was probably good we didn't fill up. We did though.
We would have pee pantsed.
We did the smart thing, like basically the way you got to do it for conventions that they offer it. We got our badges mailed.
Yes. Which I've been doing for the most part if it's offered. Like I did it for ConnectiCon too, which will be our first time doing that for ConnectiCon. But it definitely made it easier. But I did hear some people in line say that they did opt in to have it delivered and it didn't show up. So we got lucky. Or maybe I just ordered.
You ordered early. Ahead. You ordered early enough. I think that's the thing. If you wait the last, because they usually conventions will have a cutoff point. If they know it ain't gonna make it, they're like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But if you order way in advance, it should be all right. They were nice little badges. Like I liked Rhode Island Anime Con's little anime character, like mascot.
Yes. Well, that's one thing I loved about Anime Boston is they always had the mascot characters with the theming that was very fun. So I think that's kind of what they're going for with Rhode Island Comic Con as well. But yeah, drive wasn't too bad. I mean, like I didn't think we hit any issues, just the occasional slow person.
Typical, just driving in Connecticut into Rhode Island.
Well, once we got to Rhode Island, GPS fucked up and
yeah. I mean, anytime a GPS goes into a city, it just fucking shits itself. It's like, I don't know.
But we did eventually make it to the garage. We parked, and then we were thinking about going into the mall, but guess what? The mall wasn't open until 10 either. So we said, all right, I guess we're just going to stand in line with everyone.
Honestly, for the better, because we were like, we showed up at the perfect time, because like we were basically right at the door.
Yeah, we were very, very close. The guy in front of us was dressed as a Goku or Gohan.
He was dressed as Kid Goku from GT. Yes. And he was a nice enough guy, but not to shame, but oh my god, man, the cringe I saw.
Oh yeah, he was definitely having fun, but I feel like there's always this level of awkwardness when you just see someone alone, just kind of practicing their poses, and you're just kind of behind them, and you can't walk away, and you just kind of have to sit there and kind of watch, and you're like, I feel uncomfortable. We did see the Lorax. We did see the Lorax. He was in a morph suit. He was in a morph suit.
Everybody noticed him right away.
Everyone was like, the Lorax! Well, the best part is I've been getting those videos of the guy who just goes to places and goes, I am the Lorax. Let those trees grow. So the whole time I was just like, say it, say it, say it, say it. And he didn't say it, so I was a little disappointed.
But we did also see the first very awkward interaction, which was unfortunately also the guy in front of us.
Yeah. Seemed like he had a friend, but the girl looked like she was just not having a good time that morning and was in a rush, and he was like, hey, whatever your name is, hey, can I help you? And she just like ignored or like gave the barest response, and we're like, ugh, like secondhand, like, we can't walk away.
Well, we were in literally a rock and a hard place, because we had that going on in front of us, and then I right behind me had like the loudest group of con goers.
They were having fun though.
But you weren't getting it mock in your ear the entire time.
True. And we stood out there for like I think it was probably like an hour, right?
Like 45
minutes. I'd say 45 minutes. It went by pretty quick. I mean, there was a lot of good people watching. The best part is just the people who live in the area who are just like, what the fuck are all these idiots doing? Um, which is always fun.
Yes.
But it was pretty good. We got it, and then when they let us in, so for the time hits, which was 10 o'clock hits, they're not opening the door, and you could just feel everyone starting to get antsy of like, why the fuck aren't they letting us in? And then they just let everyone fucking in. And one thing we discovered is they didn't scan a single person's badge.
No. Well, also, like, it was kind of a shit show. Like, this is just a common thing at the Rhode Island Convention Center, but the freaking security check people are no nonsense and they don't give a shit. Like,
yeah.
And they're just like fucking screaming at you. I'm like, Jesus Christ! All right, we're starting off great. And it's like you got people everywhere, and they're like yelling at you because you're not paying attention. I'm like, I can't tell who you're talking to, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's like there is 5 people like all over the place because nobody's prepared because no one knows what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got through that, and then it was such a kerfuffle that there was supposed to be people scanning badges for entry, but
no one was.
So I was thinking back at it, they were there, but they were not even close to the escalators, so people could just like get around, like walk right past them, and no one was paying attention.
I didn't even see them, and they weren't trying because clearly like a ton of people kept walking by them because I'm sure we weren't the only people. But we'll kind of tell you later why this came up.
I didn't even think about it at the time because I just saw these guys in green shirts. I'm like, that's weird.
Well, it's also because like I mean, with most of the other conventions, you kind of like either pick up your badge and then you're good and then you go in, or it's like yeah, that's really usually it. Like they've never really secondhand scanned. So because I know like when I went to Anime Boston, I pre-ordered the badges. We just walked in once we had the lanyards. So I mean we had to go through security, but like they didn't need to scan it or anything.
Nothing beats Retro World with your badge, your wristband,
yeah, and your stamp. Yeah, because I gotta have my 8 forms of identification.
Just to get in. I love Retro. That always cracks me up.
I didn't cosplay this time because it was Rhode Island, so it was a bit of a drive, and 2, I didn't have this one ready behind me, so it wasn't gonna work. So I said for fun, I just wore my Bulbasaur backpack I got from the Nintendo store, which was fun, but I also kind of regretted it because we had our first awkward interaction of the day without even going up the escalator.
Yeah,
and I felt so bad because like she was really sweet, but it was one of those very socially awkward conversations where you're starting to inch away because you're like, okay, I want this conversation to be over.
The best part is you were escaping, and then she noticed me.
She turned to you, and then you also start trying to escape.
Well, the worst part is like she ran out of things to talk about, so then she sees my. It's gone now, but I had an accident at work.
Yeah.
I had this big scar on my arm from a work-related accident. She's like, "What happened to your arm?" And I'm just like, I got into an accident at work. It's not that important. And I'm just like, can we please go now?
But I think like the worst part was like she just kept saying like the same thing over and over. I can't remember what it was.
Well, she noticed I had my Retro Hangover shirt on. Shout out to Retro Hangover, by the way. But she thought it was Sega because their logo is the Sega Genesis logo.
Yep.
And I just kind of I was trying to be nice. I was like, yeah.
No, same. Like, cause like she wasn't doing any harm, but
it was just one of those like we'd like to go to the convention now.
Yeah, it was just like, and we also desperately both needed to pee at that point.
I was
just like, I'm sorry, girl, I'm gonna pee my fucking pants, and like,
but I kind of felt bad because the second we got on the escalator, I noticed she went right to the next person she found and started interrogating them, and I'm like, like that poor.
I just think she was very socially awkward. She was very sweet though, but it was just
fun.
Like the first thing you walk in, you just have a very awkward encounter, and it was like it kind of set the tone of like, okay, what the fuck the rest of the day.
I mean,
the day was pretty fine.
The day was fine. I've noticed though, like the clientele you get at conventions varies on the topic. Like,
and this one being straight up just anime.
It showed.
Like, it showed.
So I look at our three primary conventions we go to every year. We always like to do an anime. We do Kineticon, which is like that's basically Connecticut's Comic Con.
Mhm.
That is such a wide variety. So you generally see the most wide variety of people at those, and it's always
Yeah.
a fun adventure. Then Retro World is a gaming convention, but it's like a very strict collecting focused gaming convention. So everyone there is strictly business, and you don't really see a lot of cringe. You see
Yeah.
cringe, not a
You see
lot.
Morocco Man.
Yeah.
You
And
did not see him at Anime Con. Well, even like I'd say Anime Boston, like the last time I went, I did not nearly have as many I also feel like I didn't have as many awkward interactions, but I feel like that's also sorry, hiccup. The scale of the event, there's just so many people that like
yes,
the chances are less where this one was smaller, the chances were higher. But yeah, no, there's definitely some,
it's
fun
also,
things.
I swear to God, it's a Rhode Island thing. Because, no offense to Rhode Island, but do you remember when we went to Rhode Island Comic Con and there was the goats?
Yes.
And that got old after once. Like
Oh yeah. It was funny like the first
it
time, but
wasn't even
then
funny the first time. Let's be real, it
it
wasn't
was
funny the first
it was
time.
tolerable the first time.
They
You
were the
you
goats
got
from Thor, right?
yeah.
I think.
You got the
Yeah.
joke, and then like the 50th time you were just like, shut the fuck up.
Once you heard people verbally like screaming across the room to shut the fuck up, I was like, yeah, okay, it's over. You've
You're like,
you've
okay,
ruined it.
someone's gonna punch you now, so please stop, young girl. Like, and it was two young girls too, and it was like, oh, like,
Like,
okay, like for your own safety, stop. Like, someone
I'm
will
like,
punch you.
I'm like, you ran the joke into the ground an hour ago. Now you're pushing it.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
but yeah, I think it's just a Rhode Island thing because we don't ever see that anywhere else.
yeah. Um, so what did we do? So we ran to the bathroom, and then we decided there wasn't really it really was just the one room. So
Yeah, it
we
was the most you're kind of there conventions I've ever been to. Like you kind
yeah.
of like you went up the escalator, didn't scan our badges because like,
Yeah.
and then you just walk because I was like waiting for someone to like check your badges to walk into the event hall. No, just straight up,
Yeah.
you're
No
up
one
that
did like I guess if you just get in, like you're fine. I don't know. But I think they were also scaling. It wasn't that many people there. Like it wasn't a huge event, so I like not necessarily putting in the full probably all the stuff they do for Rhode Island Comic Con. They probably didn't scale it that big because it wasn't that big.
They also probably couldn't get that many vendors. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, and there definitely wasn't. It was a lot more art. There was a bunch of figures though too, and it was very anime centric. One thing about this convention though is that like they did have a celebrity signings, and they actually had some cool people there. Like
That's actually where the majority of the people were on the floor at a given time because Johnny Young Bosch was there, and holy shit, the line for him.
Oh yeah. But Rimaru, Rimaru's
Yeah.
voice.
Brittany, I can't remember her last name at the moment, but the voice actress for Rimuru, and Alex had no idea, and then I just went, Alex, I said jump. And you were like, where?
I love how I don't give a shit about Rimaru. It's just I give full shits about I said jump.
Or like the 20 other characters that you probably know that she's voiced at one point. But
I hope she comes back, and I just want to take a screenshot of like the character like going jump, jump, like in that pose, and then be like, "Can you sign this, please? It's my favorite work of yours."
I just want to know if she remembers doing that role. Like
I feel like she does. That's iconic, Bill. I feel like that's something that all of them will never forget.
I said jump.
Touch me. His sweet little voice. Touch me harder. his cute laugh. Oh. I fucking love that episode.
So many other quotes around that we can't say on this pod.
That's my favorite. I fucking love the rabbit episode. It's my favorite fucking Ghost Stories episode. Anyways, but one of the other things. So they did have a couple celebs, but then they also kind of had a lot of cosplayers. Which I know some people are super into, but then like they had kind of the like what? Like there's like this local
not to throw shade, but
yeah, not to throw shade, but also like why were these featured things they were like posting? One was local Peter Griffin, a cosplayer, impersonator, which I'm like, all right, you do you. But then this menace, this menace of a Pikachu costume. It's literally a blow up Pikachu costume you could buy on the internet, but the cursed thing about it is that he wears a plastic Pikachu mask in it, so it's blow up Pikachu with Pikachu, and it's fucking scary, and I hate it. He was at Rhode Island Comic Con, and I hated every second seeing him, and I had to see him again, and he was featured, and I wanted him to leave.
I'm not gonna lie. The sad part was he had his own booth, and I'm gonna actually preface. I'm assuming it's a he. I have no idea.
Oh yeah.
Just gonna put that out there. They, I didn't see anyone visiting. They were just kind of standing there the whole time, and I'm just like, this is awkward.
I didn't see really anyone at the cosplayer booths.
To be fair, I mean, they were in a really weird spot. They were like in between the vendors and the actual talent. No offense, but let's be real.
Yeah. The celebrities.
Yeah. So it was just a weird, like, I think more people were distracted by the waifu car they stuck in front of them than anything. Yeah, because there was a waifu car just chilling there in the middle of the floor.
I wonder how it got up there.
There's probably
probably an elevator door or something. But yeah, no, it was good. And then like the rest of the space was they had the vendors, and then they had this little like cafe / they had a maid cafe, which
and they did a performance while we were at a booth buying anime figures,
and we couldn't leave.
We were doing a transaction, and I remember I looked over and I just went, I hate everything about that.
Yeah, it was pretty cringe. It was pretty cringe. Like there was a lot of really good moments where we were like, ooh, cringe. There's definitely a lot, and it wasn't like. It was just like it wasn't like a singular person. It was more just like moments. Like that was a moment.
We didn't have iconic moments like the Wii Games guy or the Boba Tea girl or like the I only do digital like just like the weird like awkward interactions that you remember because they're kind of funny.
Or these were just
yeah.
Oh. That one was painful.
Oh yeah,
that one was painful. I'll never forget that moment.
These were more just like this is like the point,
like anime weeb cringe. I'm just like
this is the point where like I consider myself a weeb, but there was moments where even I was going like ooh, like ooh.
That's a little much.
This is like I don't want to be part of this.
Yeah. For the most part, everyone was pretty nice. There were some really pretty like one of my favorite cosplays was someone did a cosplay of Belle from the movie Belle, not Disney, the anime one, and it was so pretty. And I love when people put their own spin on it, and that's what they did. They like put their own twist on it, and it was so nice and so pretty. And I saw her and I was like, oh my god, you look so pretty. I love that movie. And most people were pretty nice when you complimented.
There was one cosplayer. It was a handicapped girl in a wheelchair. She was doing a Tifa Lockhart cosplay, and I was like, damn, she rocks it. She was rocking it. I was like, hell yeah. Good for her.
No. Well, and that's like the beauty of cosplay. It really is for anyone, and you can really put your own twist on it. You don't have to be like stuck based on like a character's abilities or physical. Like you can really do whatever you want with it, which is always fun. But we got in there.
The only like awkward cosplay interaction we had was when we almost got run over by the fucking Demon Slayer.
Yeah, and that was just like a lot of them were which understandable, they're excited, they're having fun. But like when the ringleader is a teenager adult and like you're having the kids, like come on. Like there's other people here. I get you're having fun, but like you almost like ran over a ton of people.
Yeah, I know, like five people. We were walking in a pack, and we almost got like fucking trampled. And I was like, calm down there, Jethro.
Be considerate of others, and I think that's just common etiquette. And for granted, it was kids; they were having fun. But I was more mad at the person who was being the ringleader because I'm like, come on, you're an adult, or you're pretty close to an adult. Set an example. Don't have kids run around because it just takes one. Because it's not even like we were nice. You know, we didn't say anything. We just walked away. There's assholes now who like will say something and will yell at those kids. You know there
Yeah.
is. Like
Oh,
you
like that
just
fucking interaction that was happening in the hallway.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that after. But let's continue talking about the floor. So, a lot of art. It was a lot of art, which is fun
Not
because
as much art as like usual though.
I would say that was pretty half and half though, because it wasn't that big. Because it
No, there
really was
was
just it was probably half art, half just merchandise.
yeah, there was a very big lack of manga, which was a little disappointing because I know
Yeah.
Anime Boston has manga galore.
Mm.
But that was fine. I mean, we ended up getting manga later, but that's
Connecticut usually has manga, so funny.
a lot of art, a lot of figure figure stores.
Yeah,
A
that's what they
couple
were really pushing.
a couple gaming booths. There was one that was like literally a shoebox and it was full of people and I looked in and just went, no. I'm like, I don't need to buy games that bad.
Like I am good. Yeah, but for the most part, I went in with the mindset of I'm not buying any more posters because I don't have any more wall space to put them on, and
Yeah.
I achieved my goal. I didn't buy any, but did I buy 3 keychains? Yes.
I bought keychains because keychains are keychains and they're fun.
Yes. I got a Mao Mao and Jinshi keychain, and then I got a Free Ren and Fern keychain, and Bill also got the same Free Ren and Fern keychain from the same booth.
I got the Free Ren and Fern, but they also had a Toru holding Kyo in cat form and like the cat holding pose, which is really funny.
Yep.
And then I got I found Sawako from Kimi ni Todoke, which I was like, oh, is that Kimi ni Todoke merch? And they were like, yes, it is. I'm like, I need it because it's like you don't see that often.
Yep.
I got a few of those. I bought the one piece of Inuyasha merch I found because like you don't see a lot of it anymore. It was like one of those mini prints.
Yes.
It was the last one they had, so they're just take it out of the binder. I was like, okay.
And you were like, woo!
Nice. But the best part was like Alex had gone in and she was like, I'm not gonna buy a ton of figures. Like only if I see ones I like.
I only bought 3. Okay, I only bought 3. That's pretty good for me. I did get ripped off though. I did get very much ripped off, and I'm still bitter about it. And if I see them again, I'm gonna tell them that they ripped me off and fuck off. I'm gonna walk past it. If they're at Connecticut, I'm literally gonna say, "No, you ripped me off last time. Fuck you." And I'm gonna walk away.
You just won't buy them.
I am gonna give them a death glare though. I am gonna give them a look that says, "I hate you. You ripped me off." Maybe
you know what the worst part about that was though? Like
we
before
went to the next booth and it was right fucking there.
Well, the worst part was like the booth we'd been before had the really enthusiastic guy who loved everything. Because you remember he loved your backpack. He loved my
He was really trying to sell.
He was. Although he wasn't lying because I did compare his prices to everyone else's and he wasn't lying. So I'll give him that. But he made it very clear. Like he was like, I looked around and I have the best prices around. I'm like,
but he also had like some of the worst selection.
Well, no, he had a very small selection, but hey, he wasn't lying. He had the best prices.
Oh yeah.
But like I remember because he had said I went around and I checked and people are ripping everyone off around here. And Alex then proceeded to get ripped off a few minutes later.
But honestly, it was worth it though, because the figure I got was a Mao Mao who was like a solid brick. And like she's in her like little cat, like, hey, give me the poison.
Gremlin pose. Yes.
And I do love it. And then I also got 2 Kaiju number 8 ones where I actually got Kaiju number 8 and then Kafka. I saw a lack of Hoshino merch and I was very disappointed. I better see more at Connecticut. If I don't, I'm gonna strike. I want that Nendroid so badly, even though it doesn't have the face that I want. I've just given up and I'm accepting that that's all I can get.
Yeah. I did buy a Nendroid. I got a Your Nendroid and I love it because Your's the best.
And you also got a Mao Mao.
I got this Mao Mao sitting eating probably poison. They gave her, she has a giant ass for some reason, but hey.
I told you the reason. It's to counterbalance her because it's one of those sitting ones. So she needs weight for her to stay up. If they didn't give her a dumpy, she would fall over, Bill.
Yeah, but I also have the Mina, and she doesn't have a dump truck.
it's different counterbalance though. She's also puny, and that's big.
I just think the modeler wanted to give her a giant ass.
Just give her the dumpy, Bill. Accept
yeah.
your dumpy man.
she is the best girl.
Yes.
And then I got this Fern figure, which is huge. Like it's just
Does
a
she
giant.
also have a dumpy?
No, the way she's got giant feet though. Like they actually like.
Yeah, big feet. Yeah.
Like foot. Like just.
That's a foot fetish figure, Bill. You bought a foot fetish.
Sure.
The toes are out, Bill.
She kind of does have a.
Anyways. Toes are out, Bill. You bought a foot. Just kidding.
No, that's like if you're getting off to that, you need help.
Bill. People put My Little Ponies in a jar.
I'm not even sure that's a fetish thing. I think that's just a weird thing. Anyways,
people get off to that clearly, but anyways,
I think it's a meme at this point.
People actually did it, Bill. People.
No, one person did. One person did. I watched a documentary on it. It was gross. Anyways, but yeah, we did that. A lot of keychains, a lot of figures. Browse the floor.
Yeah. It was funny. We saw mouse pads as usual, but we saw mouse pads that were for both. They weren't just of the ladies. They were also the men. The men.
They were equal opportunity.
Was
big
it
titty
Sakuna?
Mouse pads?
Was it Sakuna? It was a Sakuna big titty mouse pad.
I was like, equal opportunity.
Which honestly, one of the best things I saw.
I did go to that one like import game place, and I bought that.
You bought that one game
for $10 because it was cheap. Shining Sword.
Yes.
And then I also got the giant Pokemon Emerald cartridge too, the 3D printed one.
Now Bill, I have 2, and Bill has 1.
Yep, it's hanging on the wall in my game room.
Nice. But there wasn't that much to see. We kind of explored up and down, and that's when we kind of were looking around. We're like, wow, this convention center is kind of a dump now. Walking up and down, kind of seeing there that much on the up floor. They did actually have a nice they have in this nice little like circle room, which it's funny because I remembered that was a practice room when I was dancing there, so it was funny seeing it not as that. And it like had like a bunch of different like photo opportunities, but one of the cool things, like photo backdrops and stuff, but one of the cool things was they had the Dragon Ball one, and it was actually signed by the cast that were either at the event or at the event previously, which was fun. And then we saw the guy posing again.
We sure
from
did.
the line.
With no one taking his photo, which was very awkward. I kind of felt bad for that guy. I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Sir, are you okay?"
I did too, but I also just was like, "Let's leave." And then we both were like, "Okay, now I'm really hungry. Let's go get some food." So we went to the mall.
But this is where we discovered because we had to go through the metal gate again, and
yes,
they were gonna like, "Oh, we'll scan your badge in case you want to come back in," and they were like, "Oh, you never got scanned in," and we were like, "No, there was no one scanning," and they were like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." That guy was very confused, and I was like, "I don't know what to tell you, man."
Because at first we were looking at the food options at the convention center, and they had the classic chicky fingies, and I said, I don't want that. Let's go to the Cheesecake Factory because there was one in the mall. So we went to the mall.
Before we went there, we went to. So we were just kind of perusing the mall because at first we weren't really sure if we wanted Cheesecake Factory or not. Because we went upstairs and we realized, wait, it's completely the other direction.
Yes, but we did end up exploring the whole mall, and at first we were like, okay, let's just go to the food court. But the food court was traumatizing. Well,
it had like 7 Chinese restaurants or like
Asian cuisine restaurant, and like which is fun. And I was like, you know what? Some garbage like mall Chinese food, which honestly I have been craving. Like I gotta find a mall that has one so I can get some because I need it. But the thing is that like as we're going, they're like looking at us and going, "Come here, come here."
Yeah, they were like,
and immediately I was like, "No, thank you. I want want nothing to do with this. It was traumatizing. And I said, fuck this, we're going to Cheesecake.
Well, the only place that did not do that was the pizza place, but I was not feeling pizza at the time.
Sbarro, and I was like, eh. But literally every other thing, it was like Sbarro, a Johnny Rockets, and then like a Chinese, like Asian cuisine. Every time they would just vehemently scream at you to come. If you made eye contact, they just start screaming at you to come over, and it was traumatizing, and I hated every second of it. So I said, never. Goodbye. I almost wanted to tell him that too. I'm like, just because you did that, I do not want to eat here. Goodbye. Don't you understand? Weebs are introverts. We don't want to talk to anyone.
It's not even just weebs, it's just people in general. No one wants that.
No one wants that. It's scary. But as we were trying to figure out where the Cheesecake Factory were, we passed a Newberry Comics, and we said, "Oh, let's go in." And they happened to be having a sale. What's
funny is I went in just because I was like, "Do you mind if we go in?" Because I knew the new Comey volume was out, so I wanted to grab it.
Yeah.
So I grabbed that, and then Alex is like browsing, and then she finds like 7 books that she wanted.
Well, it was like I didn't realize the new One Piece one had come out. The 3-in-1 for One Piece had come out. And I was like, oh, I need that. And then I saw the newest Haikyuu 3-in-1 came out, and I was like, oh, I need that too. And then I saw Hunter x Hunter's 3-in-1 started coming out, and I was waiting for that, so I grabbed both of that were out. So I ended up buying 4 books, which I added to my shelf. Which we rearranged my shelves too. Bill built a shelf for me. He didn't help me. He just built it. Thanks, Bill. So I was able to reorganize a bunch of my stuff.
We also saw that the weeb in front of us who was like buying first manga experience, buying Berserk.
Yeah.
He did not know what he was getting into.
Yeah. Well, and then I tried to help him because he was like, oh, I was going to get in with Scales. And I was like, oh, like if you're interested in collecting it all, because Berserk has a ton of them, I was like, you should really look on Amazon. A lot of the time they're just discounted before they're even on sale. So I was like, you should look at that. Because that's what I was doing with the Trigun ones. Whenever they came out, I would go on Amazon because it's already discounted in the pre-order. So yeah, you should do that sometimes. So I was trying to give him a heads up, but I was just trying to be nice because I had bought the Trigun ones. So, oh well, I hope he follows my advice. Or if not, I mean, he could spend a shit ton of money.
I mean, he seemed like he was like receptive to it, but I also couldn't tell if he was just like, ooh, pretty girl talking to me.
I mean, I'm hideous, so
no. Shut it. Shut it.
But after that,
speaking of girls, though, there was the one behind me in line that was like in my butt the entire time. I'm like, will you back the fuck up, please?
The funniest part is like when you told me that, I was like, there was a person behind you.
I was like, yeah, she was like straight up trying to get in my butt. I'm like, will you back the fuck up, please?
Maybe she had a thing. I don't know.
When you can feel them breathing on your neck, I'm like, back up. Like
that's when you turn around and you just make eye contact. You be like, you want to stay?
No, that's when you just rip a massive fart. Because at that point,
did you let out any sneaky toots? Did you let any sneaky toots?
No, conventions constipate me. All right, I swear to God. Like,
so after that, we made our way to the Cheesecake Factory. You had to go outside to make it to the front.
Well, yeah, we almost went to PF Chang's because that was like our second choice.
That was our second choice. Well, because like the Chinese food after like the mall traumatized me, but then I was like, oh no, let's go to Cheesecake Factory. So we went. We got it. That one was not busy at all, which was
it was also
nice.
Like noon on like a Saturday.
Yeah, well, but I would assume it would be busy on like a weekend, versus like a day. But anyways, it wasn't busy at all.
Well, no, Alex, all the weebs are like too busy at the convention center. They don't want to walk.
They're going
just they'll buy their overpriced chicken fingers and then just deal with it.
The Connecticut Convention Center always has pretty decent food, I will say.
For what it is, yeah.
Yeah, for what it is, it's pretty. But it was because like the convention center is literally connected to the mall via this like sky walkway situation. So that's always fun. But we got there. We ate the bread. Bread's the best part of Cheesecake Factory. I love the bread. They have like that good pumpernickel.
Oh yeah, both of our waitresses were also weebs.
Yes, they both were like, damn it, we wanted to go. And we both got salad. And then we both got cheesecake.
Yeah.
Because you can't go to the Cheesecake Factory without getting cheesecake. And then after that, we headed back and we were like, how do we get out here? We kind of decided we were conventioned out at that. There really wasn't that much to see. There really wasn't a lot of panels too, but I also couldn't really figure out where they were. But none of them were really that appealing to us.
They were showing a movie. They were very aggressive about that movie.
Yeah, they were really trying to push this movie, and we were like, we're not staying that late. Bye. So we were there for like a couple hours though. It was fun. Like we definitely had fun, but at some point we were like, all right, we're good. We spent our money, didn't go over budget, but we're done.
So miraculously, for once, did not go over budget.
Yeah. So we're leaving, and then we're like, maybe we'll go through this way. And as we're going back the way that connects to the convention center, and we see like this big group of people, and we kind of don't know what's going on. So we walked past them, and then we realized, oh wait, we don't want to go this way. We want to go back the other way. So we went back the other way because we were trying to find a bathroom before we left. We went back the other way, and like suddenly like we're eavesdropping, and we hear that like like the hotel guy was vehemently yelling at the group of people there, which seemed to be like another event that was going on because it has a hotel that also probably has convention as well. And they're just like in a screaming battle, and like there was a good like I'm gonna fuck you up conversations happening
with a shit ton of kids around, by the way.
Yeah, a shit ton of kids, and it seemed like they were there for the event. And the hotel guy was like, "Get the fuck out!" Like, it was like, "Leave! You're gonna be escorted out." And then we were just like, "Let's get out before this gets bad." So we ran away.
My favorite quote from that thing, because I was listening, was like the guy was like, "You don't own the building." He's like, "Oh, you think so, motherfucker?" And I'm like, Jesus Christ. He's like, "I'll fuck you up." I'm like,
what did these people do? I just think they were a little drunk and belligerent.
Oh no, they were definitely drinking. My favorite part was all the weebs filming, because weebs are like, "Ooh, what's going on here?"
Ooh, entertainment. But eventually we got away. We found the bathrooms. Oh my god, that bathroom was fucking destroyed. All the weaves were in there, and they were just fucking the place. I don't want to be gross, but like, it was pretty fucking nasty. And then we finally left, and like, leaving the parking garage. I'm like, Bill, it's the guy, and it got kicked out. He did get kicked out. Can't confirm.
Yeah, that was actually the easiest time getting out of a city, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we did have a very easy time. I was able to lock into the GPS pretty quickly. The only thing was like people drive way too fucking fast at that garage.
Oh yeah,
as we discovered. Yeah, but other than that, I think we conquered. Will we go again next year?
Yeah, probably Boston next year.
I think so. We're thinking either Boston or the New York one.
Depends on the situation next year.
Yeah. Or maybe both.
The drive home, though, I will say it fucking downpoured for like multiple
my
stretches.
God, yeah. It was so nasty. I was grateful Bill drived, but also, yeah, it was bad. So thanks for driving.
Yeah. Oh, it was an experience, though. We got fun merch. We saw cringe.
Yes.
No fun cringe. Like, I was very bummed we didn't get like the naive like children being like, I can't wait till I have my own place so I can fill it with anime figures, and I'm just going like, oh,
no.
Like you don't.
You'll be lucky to have an apartment.
Yeah, you'll be lucky to have a shoebox.
Yeah.
To live in.
Sad. Then you gotta pay rent, and then utilities, and then good luck buying anime figures.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta buy a home. Unfortunately, it's not easy anymore. And apartments kind of suck. So.
Yeah. There's no winning. Unfortunately. But we had fun.
We did.
It was good. It was a good experience. You know, will we go again next year? Probably not. But it wasn't a negative experience. It was positive.
No, I'm honestly, I think it might just be my homebody self. I like my Connecticut conventions because it's so easy to get there.
Yeah. No, and I get that too. Like, it's just, Rhode Island is pretty far. The difference between that, though, is like, at least like Boston, we can like park at the train green line and then take the green line in, and then we don't have to worry about getting to the city. Where that one, there really wasn't an option. Because even New York, like, we're going to have the option of, like, if we do that, we can take the commuter train in and then just walk to the convention center. So
Yeah.
I feel like for me, that's more appealing nowadays than, like, the same thing of, like, driving somewhere, having to drive back. It's just easier. I like also the local stuff too. And we got some good conventions near us, so.
Yeah. No, I like it. It was fun. I did not have a bad time, but probably won't go back just because.
But some of the people in those bathrooms had a bad time.
Yeah, and some of those people also
they were eating from this cookbook. Lots of cream cheese.
They ate the chicken fingers. That's what happened. But yeah, so first convention of the year down. We got Kineticon next. Looking forward to that. Hopefully it won't be as hectic with the badges pre-ordered.
Yeah. Those should be coming. I gotta keep an eye out for when those come in the mail. But yeah, I think that'll definitely be a lot less hectic, especially because like my cosplay, we've already discussed. I'm gonna have to put it on in the parking lot because I can't sit in it in the car rides.
Yeah. Thank God that parking garage is so convenient.
Yeah, and we'll probably plan to get there early regardless. But the best part is at least we're not gonna have to stand in the big queue.
Exactly. But yeah. So I guess that's pretty good for this episode.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys.
Sorry.
Before Alex falls asleep.
I wasn't kidding. I'm tired. I haven't slept because of Dennis.
Anyways, once again, guys.
Wait, can I read another excerpt from my cookbook?
No. Save it for next week.
I can do it next week.
If you remember. Anyways, guys, once
Keep
again,
cookbook up here.
Thank you for joining us on the Gaming Collecting Podcast. You can find the Gaming Collecting Podcast on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And be sure to check us out on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site featuring a whole bunch of awesome podcasts, videos, blogs.
Can you hear me?
No. Yeah, but anyways, you can check us out there. Be sure to check out all the awesome shows. And anyways, guys.
Thanks for what? I've been listening. Thanks for listening. This is a video because I don't have any makeup on, but thanks for listening. Support us by buying me a Hoshina figure. Thank you.
Don't do it. She doesn't deserve it.
Do it. Do it.
But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us. We will see you all later.
Does anyone want Dennis?